All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we're going to talk about the first two episodes of Creature Commandos, the official launch of the DCU, the new James Gunn DC Studios, his new, rebooted universe. It is on HBO Max, so we are going to get into spoilers for the first two episodes. So if you want to hit pause here, go check out those and come back and join the discussion. We appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us in the live chat. So leave all your comments, and we'll get to the comments at the end of the discussion. But yeah. With that being said, Brandman, what you think about the first two episodes of the DCU?
Look at my notepad here.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, the James Gunn influence was very prominent. More on that later. It felt very much like James Gunn. I liked that. I liked that. I liked how much it hit the ground running. It really didn't waste any time plot wise. So they lay everything out nicely within the first several minutes of the show. I liked how they developed kind of give you backstory, how they kind of spread the backstory on most of the characters out, particularly obviously Rick Flag Sr. What was the bride? I liked how they where they went with her. And I'm hoping they do more of that with the other characters. I liked how a lot of the violence, the cursing, the sexual aspect. It didn't feel necessarily like forced or just like ham-fisted in there for shock value. So I liked it. It never seemed there just for the sake of being edgy, is what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of liked that James Gunn decided to start with something a little more obscure, because when you think DC, you think, Batman or Superman typically, especially in the context of like a casual viewer. So I kind of liked the idea that he started with something a little more obscure. And I also really like the voice acting, particularly from Frank Grillo. I'm always interested in anything that guy's in. I think he's like criminally underrated. So I'm happy to see him in a role like this, and in a role that he's going to get to carry on over into live action. And that goes for the rest of the cast too. So that's what I liked about it so far.
Yeah. Real quick, Frank Grillo, I think he's the only one that we know so far that is actually in the Superman movie.
Yep.
As his character from
his character.
He's not
so he'll be
but yeah.
Well, he's the only one that we know of so far that is going from this show, which is the first show animated on top of that, to the big screen. So I wonder if they can always do all these other people too, but he's the only one that is confirmed because we saw the pictures. So yeah. But okay. What were you, Brian? What you think about the first two episodes?
I mean, it was like DC saw all the stuff that we've been seeing from Prime, Invincible, all the animated things that we got. I mean, you talk about Harley Quinn a lot, things like that, and they said, "Oh, we could do this too." So, and it feels like what Creature Commandos feels like to me right now, that they're just saying, "Okay, we're going to give you our version of what we could do on more edgy, a little bit more raunchy stories." With that being said, I enjoyed the hell out of I did what they did with the bride. I thought that was really cool. I think it could be good, but I don't know if all the other characters are as interesting as she is. And how interesting you're going to have with Frankenstein coming out of nowhere now. And even the idea of them, fighting each other throughout the ages.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Or the idea that the Frankenstein monster, having, whatever, the doctor, that was like, what the hell? And they didn't stay on it. Like, it wasn't one of those things like you see it and they will stay on it for 5 minutes. They kind of did it just so you understand where she's coming from. And I thought that was well done overall. So, I mean, I know I like the opening. I'm just not sure that the other characters are going to catch my attention the same way. And I worry about that overall.
Yeah. I think the bride is going to be the main focus besides the main story of Cersei, being the villain, of it all. But I think the bride is going to be it seems like she's the main character,
Well,
of it.
you saw the episode 3. They showed the preview of episode 3.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more GI Robot backstory.
GI Robot,
which is cool because he's probably my second favorite of the bunch. Of the Creature Commando kind of things. Because he's like, is that a Nazi? Can I kill it? He's like, that's not a Nazi.
That was funny.
Like that was awesome. I did appreciate that. Like Brandman said, they don't spend a lot of time like setting up the team. It's like within the first 3 minutes, they're already
like Walter's like, here you go, here's the team.
Yeah, they tell you right out the gate, pretty much.
Yeah. But in that little part when they're setting it up, because it's Rick Flag Sr., they mention about Rick Flag Jr., being killed by Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. They bring that up, and they also bring up events in Peacemaker. Because Amanda Waller, her daughter kind of outs her and like, hey, this is what she's doing, and that's why they can't use humans anymore. Hence why it's not Suicide Squad, why it is Creature Commandos. So I'm like, okay, so at least we know a little bit of Peacemaker is canon and James Gunn's Suicide Squad is canon, enough. So I and that was all within like the first 2 minutes of the show. Like they're just like boom, boom, like we're doing this stuff. The sex scene happening behind the door was really funny because Dr. Phosphorus is like, give him 30 seconds. And it's like,
he's an older guy. He might be better at this. Maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're just standing there listening to them. Like I thought that was funny. I thought that was super funny. So
you're not seeing it. It's the idea of what's going on. So you still be able to use your imagination.
Yeah, and then it's like over the top of them, like screaming and doing like the goofiness, like the funny,
walls, things fall down.
Yeah, and then they're all just kind of standing there, and then who is it? The guard. It's like, you're smiling. He goes, how can you tell? It's just my skull. It always looks like I'm smiling. He goes, are you smiling? Yes, I am though. like, and then it's Alan Tudyk, who's just an incredible voice actor and just actor. He's Dr. Phosphorus. The fight scene between him and Frank and Rick Flag Sr. was really good. Because you could tell, like, hey, these guys, they don't want to get brain zapped. So they're willing to fight him for it. The bride is the main thing that was really interesting, but I can see it getting to a spot by the end of the season where you're just like, oh damn, this is like really cool. But definitely had the vibes of James Gunn. The music was very James Gunn-y. Like he's gonna find a funny kind of band that fits the vibes of whatever's going on in the show.
Yeah, it fits whatever's going on in that particular scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta admit, like, is it my favorite DC animated show? No. Harley Quinn was, even out of the newer ones in the past couple of years, Harley Quinn is like so good. But this came pretty close so far. I think it could wind up being like something really, really cool by the end of the season. But so far, so good start. I was having fun with it for sure.
Did you guys like the fact Frankenstein was on the yacht listening to rap music with women just playing around all over?
That was kind of funny.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Although because it was at the end of episode 1 that happens, and he's like, finally, I get my bride. But then when you get, it was like, bro, like you had her like every decade. It seemed like. So
yeah, but I mean, come on, that really blew my mind. What happened with the bride and
the Dr.
Frankenstein? I was like, that's really bad. It's almost like incest, because like you were treating her like your daughter, and then to do that, I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
But even David Harbour at Frankenstein was great. The first time they show Frankenstein, and he's like, he's so. It reminded me of like a not a poet, but like a Shakespeare actor.
Shakespearean,
you know,
Old
like that
English.
vibes. Yeah, you know, he goes, do I not deserve love, father? You know, this the whole thing. He's so like over the top, you know, goofy. We're gonna be talking about this every Thursday, as it comes out on Thursdays. So you know, it'll be a lot of fun going through the next couple of weeks with Creature Commandos, seeing what we get from the start of the DCU. So if you are watching on the replay, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about this episode or 2 episodes so far. Any theories you guys might have on where things might go. We definitely want to hear from you guys. And if you want to be part of the live chat, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come and join us every Thursday. We are live Thursday nights, and we talk about this and a bunch of other shows. So come out and hang out with us. But we appreciate everyone in the live chat right now. You guys stick around because we're going to get into your comments.